Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. How we doing, guys? Let me modify this. Let me go to this. Let me do a share screen. I want to share screen too. Share. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody good? You guys hear me okay? Krasi, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me make sure everybody's coming in. Very good. All right, everybody seeing the 8 cap screen, the MT5 screen? All right. So yes. Okay. Connie, good morning. Everybody's good? Okay. All right. Good news. So we're halfway there. We're not fully there, but we're halfway there. Okay. Here's what I got for you. If you have MT5 or just download 8's MT5 on there, I have the MT5 indicator. This is the all combo indicator. Now it's in, let me show you where it's at. Let me just actually, I'm gonna Trader Tools question mark. It's in this folder. So let's go in the folder. It's in the folder, right? Under BK Tools. I think it's called, let me just find it for you. It's called Combo Trader, okay? So here's what you do. You double click this, you download this into the indicators, and you use the basic setup template. You put this into your templates folder. Do it this way. I've created the template the way I want the indicator, for you to look, for it to look the way I think is the best, and I would use that. And then I'm gonna show you how to interpret the whole thing and actually trade it, which should be super cool. All right. So is everybody clear on you downloading the indicator into the indicators folder? So if I'm an expert advisor, so I'm going in the indicators. The indicator called Combo Alerts. That's the name of the indicator. And then all you got to do is just download the template into your templates box, and then apply your basic setup template. Just apply that to your chart, and it should look like mine. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to play this out. In the meantime, I'll narrate for you exactly what's happening and what this thing is showing and how we can trade it. Okay, so what's going on right now is the combo indicator has everything we need to successfully scalp or trade or do any, trade any time frame. We have the basic moving averages, the fast against the slow. I made them the same color just for you to see. I'm actually going to go while we're talking. I'm going to go into buy mode right now on NASDAQ, because we actually have a NASDAQ setup here. So I'm doing what's my buy setup mode? What isn't it going? Here it is, buy setup mode on this. Put this on 5, and let's see if that triggers. So what the indicator is showing us right now is that first we have trend, then we have a true trend break on the 3 bar candle. You see the big black signal telling us the trend break is true. Now we have a reference point. All the reference points are in blue. And since we have trend confirmed, we have a reference point coming in. We're going to come in on a buy-sell basis, right? On a buy-sell structure to let this thing play itself out. I'm actually, the only thing I want to make sure is that I want to make sure my properties. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cancel. Oops, and now I'm in trade. So why is the oh, and I think looks like I'm in. What's going on over here? All right, I can't. Why don't I see my take profit? Okay, well that's weird. Okay, it took profit. Okay, very good. So that worked. That was weird. Why didn't it? All right, maybe this is. And again, it's all experimental as far as the indicators goes. And I'm also using for the first time using 8 caps, 5 on this applet. So I just wanted to make sure that it was working. But it seems to be working okay. Anyways, is a perfect example of how our trade strategy works, in a sense that, we have the trend break, we have the reference point, we got long on this thing. It's probably, if you wanted to trade it longer, it's probably maybe good for 10, 15 points on a big trend breakout. But that's one way that we can trade this thing, which is just on reference points. The second way we can trade this is on retrace levels. So reference points in my template are all blue, so they can be easily seen, right? Whereas retrace points are all gold, so they can be also, really easily seen. And when we get a retrace point, so in this case, in this retrace point, worked actually a little bit. You would have been short over here on a buy sell basis, and it would have been fine for 5-10 points. But this was a pre-market move, so it kind of was a little choppy. On the other hand, over here, even though this was a very long mature trend, right? The retrace point came in very late. It still would have worked very nicely. The buy sell structure over here would have given you very good entries and exits on the move. So now we have the visualization that we need for all the tools that we want, right? And you can configure the indicator in a lot of different ways. I've simply, I've configured it in a simple way. You can go back into the properties. You can see that it has a lot of interesting properties here. Of course, you can change the moving averages. We don't, because we're operating on the moving averages. You can decide if trend break should be a true property or not true property. You can decide if you want the reversals to trade only when there's a trend break. I mean, obviously, trend break is the key filter for everything we do. If we don't get the trend break, we really don't trade the. Oh wow! Oh, this thing worked too. Okay, that's cool. We really don't work. We don't trigger, because trend break was the insight that we had. And also, for those of you that want to get very cute with this thing, we can create a whole bunch of alerts, which I will do for you. I don't know if I'll have time this week, but I'll do proprietary, we'll do proprietary wave files you can enable, and then each thing will tell you, oh, there's a trend break, oh, there's a reversal break, oh, there's a moving average dip, like what we call retrace file. All of those things, it will tell you audibly when each one of these visual cues pops up, so that you can have that as well. Obviously, this is all on 1 minute charts. And it just, oh, that's interesting. Hang on. That's interesting. Why didn't this? Okay, so what's going on here? Why did this not? Okay, let me try. Just bear with me a second, guys. I want to see something. Yeah, it's still buggy. So as I said to you, this is the first version. Because the reason why I am surprised is there should have been a yellow candle here. This was a dip in right here. For some reason, I think I understand what happened here. Oh, this is interesting. The reference point and the yellow candle, they both, oh, wow. The blue overshadowed the green. Let me just see something. Just bear with me a second. Let me see if this is true. Huh. No. Wow, this is not. Interesting. I don't know why the dip did not show. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's a bug in the thing or not. Dip buy. Let's make it black. Please. Let's make this red. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to debug this. So this is a dip buy. This is it's showing on the sell side. I wonder if it's just not showing on the yeah, it looks like it's not showing on the buy side. We're just not showing something. There's something on this thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to Daniel. So we'll have to fix this. I mean, it's the usual thing when we're working on the whole point. Anyways, let's go back to the basic setup here. And we'll just know that the dip buy candle is not showing. Like this was a dip buy candle that would have been a good buy for us, but it is what it is. The gold arrow is the retrace trade. So the idea is if we have strong trend, which is first and foremost indicated by a trend break, the candle that then closes above the fast moving average, that goes into the moving average area, in the area between the two moving averages, and closes there, right? Sends us a signal there's a possible retrace trade. Now, what makes a retrace trade is a buy-sell combo. So once you have this, then you have a green-red, then you go short. But in this case, for example, you see you don't have a green-red, you just have green-green-greens until all the way up here. So you would go short all the way over. You would go short over here before you'd enter. So this is just simply an awareness that you've entered. That at this point is where you got to start looking for a green cell structure. Does that make sense to you, Jonathan? Now the problem that that I'm just looking at this thing is that it's not flagging the buy side arrows. Like this should have been an arrow, and it's not flagging. It's just something that I'm going to have to fix with Daniel. It's not a big deal, but basically that's it. That's it. Now it's very cool about this, by the way. But sorry, let's just take a look while we're see what's going on over here. What's happening here? So we actually have a sell signal on the Dow. Let's take this. The hell? Why is this not working? Okay, let me make sure that this is algo is trading. Why is this not working? What's happening here? Experts. Oh, it is working. Oh, it's slow. Jesus. Let's see if I can. Okay, it's finally, okay, it's just slow on this thing. Oh man, it was so slow. Okay, so it came in like to 4.5 my way and then died on me. Mainly because I was like late on this entry. I should have been in over here, but let me stay patient with this for just a little bit longer. Oh, the spreads are just pathetic. I can't trade these spreads. I hate these spreads. Screw this. I can't trade this. Fuck this. Okay, well, I can only trade Nasdaq with you on the CFDs, unless we just basically trade like I'm just gonna trade like 50 on this with a 10. It's the only way I can do this. Let me just get here. Just gonna go here with a 10 target. Let's see if that works. Just because it's impossible for me to trade the spreads given how wide this thing is on the 1 minute chart. It's it's not a feasible trade. fuck it. I'll let it float. It works. It works. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's the idea here is that basically we did have a trend break. We had a reference point. Wanted to get short the reference point around 68s. See if we could get down to 59s. In order for us to really survive all of this movement, we've got to have huge stops because it's 5 points of spread on any one of these things. On the other hand, so I'm watching here, and here it is showing a dip signal over here. So I don't know. We have to just kind of fix the indicator and see see what's going on with it. But in the meantime, I'm just warning you ahead of time that all of my Dow and German trades are going to be positional essentially in nature, simply because it's the only way we can make these things work on the CFD basis. Okay, with NAS, I can NAS is super tight, but these guys are just too wide for any reasonable trade to take place. Black arrow is the 3 candle break. Correct. Correct. And it's always an interesting structure to trade. What else is going on? Just looking at I'm looking to see if I want to trade the DAX. I mean, the DAX is the trade would have been like somewhere around here. We should have probably come in here at around 70. But even if you come in at 70, you're essentially paying like 74. So it's just you really have to kind of positionally trade yourself on all these things. Anyways, the more important point is that I wanted to kind of show this to you, and then I wanted to show you the FX piece of this. So we're going to change our view to FX view, which is not giving me FX view, but okay, let's go this on. In FX view, I want to go on the 1 hour chart, because that's really where you want to be looking at opportunities on the FX side. Otherwise, it's just a waste of your time, to look at it. But you can see that on the 1 hour chart. So here's a dip, right? Here's a dip signal. You're buying here. You'd be buying at 58. If you're trading with a 10, 20 on the 1 hour chart, you have a 20-point stop, 10-point target. It easily makes 68. It actually makes, I think. What is this move here? Let me just go Control D. So this is 58, and the high here is 88. So like you have like 30 points worth of movement here to the upside. So you can extend a lot of these ideas to FX trading very, very well. So like right now, here's a good example. Right now we have a pound. Let's just trade this. Session limit. Oh, really? Invalid stops. Huh. I don't know what's going on here, guys. Whatever. This is a like a 8-cap demo, and it's having a. Why do I sometimes advise a breakout? Oh, totally different strategies, Boris. Great question. Boris is asking me, why do we sometimes buy a breakout and sometimes a dip? Two completely different strategies to consider. So let's just do this. I'm going to put this into a 40-20 mode. 20, and I'm just going to go buy this. On a basis, okay? Just going to buy this on a pure basis. So there are two very, very different strategies. One is a sort of a shorter term positional strategy, right? So scalping, or not even, I mean, it's coming out of scalping for NDXs, but it can be used for other positional strategies, which is that you have trend, dip, resumption of trend, right? That's the dip strategy. In which case you you wait for the dip, you have the signal, and then you have a very high probability chance of extension of this particular trend, right? The other strategy is really great for positional trades, and I've actually been doing this in my Owenda account on a live basis. Small. The key thing, you have to use very small size because the stops are going to be much larger, but it offers you much larger profit possibilities with across a much bigger array of instruments. And that strategy is super simple. All you're doing there is when you have a trend break, you get long at the close, and your risk is always dynamic. The risk is always based upon the lowest low of the prior negative trend. This is obviously this is to the upside, to the negative slice, and if it was to the downside, it would be to the to the positive slice. So in this particular case, you would structure a trade that would be long at 39.11. The stop would be at, what's the low here? 38.15. So it's effectively, it's a 100-point stop. You'd have a 100-point stop and a 50-point target, and you'd be looking to like 39.60 on the move, right? Conversely, here's a downtrend in cable, right? Downtrend in cable, and you'd be short on this at 38.62. 38.62. Your okay. Yeah, this is a negative. This is the negative trend start of why it's a long trend. It doesn't break the lows still over here. So it's a very long downward signal. So it okay, breaks. So we're at 38.62 entry. The high here on the highest high is, I believe, 40. So that's 40.60. So you're looking for 40 points. So you're just looking for 38. 22. So your stop is over here at 80 points, and you'd be in at 38.62, looking to TP at 38.22. Obviously, it comes in. By the way, you see how my Dow with that massive stop, hit my target, because it's the only way. This is really the only way I can trade this thing. So here it is. It's like the only way, because otherwise it's just a ridiculous churn and burn on the spreads, right? So again, just to show you the structure. Hello, who was that? The structure verified the concept, which is that we're in a downtrend. The probability of further downside action is significant, right? We're going to get short. Obviously, on a CFD basis, I'm just simply, had to give myself massive amount of room, because we're always going to get big retraces with lots and lots of spread differential. But it ultimately works itself out, right? It works itself out. So hopefully, I don't know if you guys caught it, but anyways, Boris, hopefully you get the idea. So there's this, the one structure is just these long positional trades off of moving. I mean, this is literally a moving average crossover system. The simplest, easiest, seemingly most common system in the world. How could it be profitable? Well, the secret sauce, the real secret sauce, is the trend break filter. That's what differentiates just a whipsaw fake out trend moves. As you can see, all of these don't have any signals, so they keep you out of really dumbass short moves or long moves, right? There's no signals here. No signals means no trend trade. Signals here means trend trade. Signals here, even on a small basis, sometimes means trend trade. In this case, obviously, this what is this? This is a 1 minute chart. Oh, it's a 1 minute chart, so it's obviously going to have a lot, a lot more false entries than not. And especially the Dow is just like the most notoriously a volatile case. I'm just actually curious. So obviously this was a false trade, but like what would be the trade here? There's a close here. What was the close here? It was 57. The low over here was monstrously low. 91. So it's a 60-point low. It's a 60-point stop. I needed to have a 30. I think it doesn't quite go. It goes like 20 in my direction. So, you know, you would have definitely been in the money. I don't think you would have been able to stretch out the full thing, right? Coming down here, so it's actually interesting. So coming down here, the close here was 77, and the 77. The high was 76. 100-point stop. 100-point stop. So you need to go for a 50-point target, which means you're looking for 27, and it hasn't really come down for 27 yet. You know, Dow is notoriously difficult to do this with on a basic basis. But even with the Dow, even if you don't get the full 50% of risk move, you certainly get 25% of risk move. You know, you could have given yourself that 50-25 move, and you would have been fine as far as a trade. So that's the interesting part. That's the really interesting part. Is the trend break filter. That was my kind of big insight into all of this, is what differentiates crappy trend trades from significant trend trades. And of course, significant trend trades are basically made for continuation. That's the bread and butter, right? Boom. I'm long here on this particular candle. My stop is somewhere over here, 50% of target, more than makes it, right? I bought a dip over here. Clean trade over here, clean trade. I bought a dip over here. It's a clean trade to the upside, right? So super interesting, right? I mean, I thought you guys would appreciate that. Let me see what's going on over here. Okay, let's take a look at. So this is all currencies. So I got no real views, Chris. The other fun strategy. I don't recommend it as a full blown strategy, but sometimes it's a lot of fun sometimes to kind of try it for a scalp. And this is a 1 hour chart. So obviously a scalp here means 10-point target, 20-point stop. But where you have what I call a failed break to the downside. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. A failed break to the downside, right? Failed break to the downside. So in this case, this is failed break to the downside. Sometimes offers you potential for 10-point scalps with a 20-point target. So the way I trade is this failed break to the downside. You see that the arrow never happens. They don't break the downside. The contrary signal is a candle that holds the 26 SMA. It holds through this. Then you go into a buy sell mode, which is red green. You get long over here. The close is 51. You're just looking for 10 points. I think does this make it? Not quite. This just goes 51, 55. I think this is maybe in Asia. So this only goes for 5-point extension, right? So not exactly a grand trade. On the other hand, you can see easily here, this fails, this kind of holds on an hourly basis. And if this dips ups, I think you have a reasonable chance here for scalp back up, to the upside. Similarly, you don't get a chance here. Here's a failure to the downside. This candle gets short, right? The other thing, the other way you can do this, honestly, is you could just if you're scalping, even on an hourly chart, you're scalping the failed trend break strategy. So this fails to break to the upside, fails to break to the upside. The candle recaptures. By recapturing means it closes below the slow SMA. Just go market short. Just go for 10. Dude, 10 points here. If you went to market long here, I think you get a reasonable chance here to make what was this, the high here? No, I guess not. Am I right? Wow, this is so tight. Why does this? It feels like it's not correct. Oh, 67. Yeah, I knew this was giving me a false impression. So just going long, just go long here. With a 67, you easily make 10 points, right? This recaptures, this fails. Do we want to? Can we trade this for 10, 20? Why not? Let's give this a shot. Let's just buy this. Oh, cancel. I'm gonna I want to buy. So I want to buy this in this month. So if this goes for 10 points, it's an easy scalp. It's just if you're looking for reversal ideas, trades that have reversal move, those are the most interesting. Those are the ones that I think are provide the interesting possibilities. Yeah. So all of this stuff, exactly. Wyben is asking me, is everything going to be automated? The idea is that this is the beautiful part about it. All of this, the moving average, crossover, the dip, the reference points, all of them will be automated, because what we've been working on is we've separated the signaling, which is done by the indicator, from execution, which is going to be done by the EA. Not only that, but the EA is going to have execution variables. So you can do buy sell execution, you can do market entry, you can do high low execution, right? So the execution logic separate from signaling logic, that's what we've been trying to do, which means that you can then create a ton of variety of stuff, right? Which I hopefully you guys will really like. Does that make sense, Wyman? Right, let me go back to see what the CFDs are doing. Not much going on over here. Dow hasn't broken to the upside, so no trend. No trend signal for us. DAX is surprisingly strong. Man, this is an interesting little tidbit here today. DAX is bid. DAX has been like a pure strong. Well, it's not really bid. It's just it's slowest as anything right now. It's super. Look at this. Oh my God. It blow my brains out trying to trade the DAX here. But you can see it going here, right? So I want to see something else. What happened? Oh, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. I was like, how come I didn't get the credit for that? I did. Okay. All right. So so that's what's going on. I mean, I think it's exciting. We have like a lot of really interesting developments going on. You guys let me know. So I've been, this is all I'm only sharing this with you guys in the chat room. I mean, like nobody else really has, it's there, but nobody even knows about this. And obviously it's all experimental. I haven't decided anything about how we're going to, create these strategies or market them going forward. For now, you guys get to enjoy basically all the R&D work that I'm doing with all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, eventually, that's the game plan. But I don't have any definitive yeses or nos of how we're going to use these. Regardless of whether they're automated or not, they're just amazingly, the indicator is going to be here. We're also going to make the indicator trading view. So the indicator will be there as a very, very valuable scanner. And the other thing I was going to say to you is that remember the scanner. So again, we'll be able to use this indicator with the scanner. So basically, on the scanner, it can just simply show you, oh, here's all the dips across 18 currency pairs. Here's all the dips on the 1 hour and across 18 currency pairs that are showing up, and then you can decide if you want to trade them. Here's all the moving average crossovers across the 18 currency pairs. Here's all the reference point breakouts, right? So like it's going to be a very, very interesting idea, because it's essentially same principles, lots and lots of different strategies, which is kind of cool. I'd be lying if I said, oh, this was my original idea. It was just me stumbling in the dark. But we came across what I think is a really, really valuable trading structure, right? That makes sense. Trying to put the applet on. I'm just noticing something very strange. It's sort of like it's, really, I'm noticing that, it's showing me dip points up to the point where I start trading. And like now, none of these things are showing me dip points. I'm just curious to find out why, because we should have, like, this is a dip signal, right? And for some reason it's coming in as a blue signal. Sort of interesting. Okay, guys. Yeah, the results are really, really amazing. I mean, like I've been trading this myself, in a very, very manual fashion for quite a long time. It's going to make it a lot easier to automate a lot of this stuff. The principles are solid. I mean, I'm 100% confident on the principles. The only question that becomes is volatility constraints and anything else. But as far as probability, the probability runs of these things are very high. As long as you have the variables set up in the structure you want, your probability should be 70% or better of success. And it's actually, but for me, it's been running around 77, 78. Sometimes I get lucky, I get up to the 80s, which is very, very high probability. So that's it. That's what I got to show you. We got hey, while I was talking, let's play this. We got I'm gonna sell Dow. I'm just playing selling the Dow, because remember we said we had a failed Dow here, and it looks like it's gonna work for me. Almost gonna work for me. All right, let's close this out, because I hate my spreads. Sorry. So I know it's it's very, very quick, and most of you guys have probably missed this, but again, let's understand what I was showing you here. We had a failed breakout, right? The Dow then closed through the slow SMA right over here on a closing basis, right? So now that gives us, if I came in pretty much on the closing basis of this one, right? That gives us a decent chance for further continuation, because basically what this is showing you is that there's a failure to break to the upside, which means the downside momentum is stronger, which means we want to go to downside momentum. So we got short over here, picked up another 7 points quickly on the Dow. But again, with the Dow, and with the DAX, you obviously have to have, if you don't have a 40-point stop, you can't even trade this shit. But you need wide stops. But when you plucking and picking these things, it's they're good. They're really good sniper entries. If you're looking for the 1 minute chart. So that was sort of like the third example of the trading structure in all its glory, right? Here's NAS. Where am I on NAS? NAS is still very much strong uptrend. We got nothing. We don't have any trades because NAS is just running a long uptrend. All of our profits were already done, and now it's just that's it. I'm actually okay. Let me just now I'm obsessed as to why this thing is not showing. Let me just see something else. Let me just look at the combo alerts. Where's my dip? Dip. This is EMA dip, maximum signals per second. Let me say 4. Will this show me anything? Oh, it is showing me. Okay, so this is interesting. So it is showing me the signal. 1, 2, 3. It is showing me the dips, but for some reason, I think I know what it is. When the candle has 2, I gotta tell this to Daniel. I think I understand this now. When the candle has the same candle gives you 2 different signals, a reference point signal and a dip signal. The EA just only shows you one, doesn't show you the other. I think that's what's going on. Okay, all right, that makes sense. All right, we'll modify all this, but it's very cool, right? I mean, you guys like this? I hope you guys like this. It's very hopefully it can be very useful for you guys in its full iteration. Reference points are the exact same points. Actually, Jonathan, not quite in the arrow trader. They're in the reversal trader. So just to catch you up, in case you haven't been, the MT4 version will be coming. Once we finalize the 5, because we just want to make sure there's no mistakes in 5, like this kind of this little mistake that I just discovered, and there's no more bugs, because we want to do a bug-free 5 and then we do the 4. That's how it works. That's how we've been working, Boris. So Jonathan, just to kind of bring you up to date on the research progress. So the arrow trader has both continuation and reversal signals, right? So what we did is we just completely got rid of continuation signals. Like, we don't even look at them. They're of no interest to us, because just you take my word for it, they're no interest to us. So we only look at reversal signals as continuation signals. In other words, we look for failure of reversal as the strongest structure of signaling. So what this has is just basically only reversal signals. And then furthermore, we went even further to filter it out by saying, oh, we're only going to look at the first or the second reversal signal in the trend slice, in the trend component of it, and no more. This indicator you can expand or contract them. You can give as many or as little signals as you want, and I think we only have it down to a single, or maybe 2. Let me see what I have here. What's my reversal signal? Yeah, maximum signal. On the reversal side, I've given myself 2 reversal signals. There's a thing. I'm actually, you know what? Hang on. Here's an interesting thing. If I did it to 1, there we go. Yes. See, if I contain myself to 1 reversal signal, then the dip shows up. So that's a bug that we need to just fix. But that's obvious, but it's obvious. So the point is, we got to that level. Then we went to the trend breakout as our filter. Then went to the dip component, and then we finally went to the moving average crossover. And then the last thing that I'm fooling around with is the failure strategy, right? Fails to give me a breakdown arrow or breakout arrow, then I'm going to try and go the other way on a recapture. So there's literally, like, you talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 high probability strategies out of a single indicator structure, right? You don't need to use all of them, obviously. It's just it's too much. What I find in terms of like what is most profitable or the most accurate, the retrace trade, the dip trade is the most accurate, right? Dip trade is by far the most accurate. The moving average crossover trade is the most profitable in terms of pips. Like, that's a trade where you can really give you 50, 60 pips, because you're talking about much larger time frames, bigger scales, huge ideas. And then the other 2, the reference points work pretty well. I mean, like there's maybe about a 5% fall off on accuracy on the reference points. And the reversal trade is kind of just fun. I mean, it's a fun trade to do, because it's the only one that has a reversal component to it. All these other ones are all continuation trades. We're all basically trading continuation to the trend, right? No, Boris. A moving average crossover trade is just straight up buy. You get the arrow, you go, because you're putting in a huge wide stop and a big take profit. My recommended settings are 50% of risk. Most of these, remember, if you're doing hourly charts on FX, it's 100 pip stop. Sometimes it's even 150 pip stop, because you're going to the lowest low of the arrows in direction of the trade. Yes. So the big the big arrow. So, like, here's an interesting thing. So NAS, if we complete here, we've got 30 seconds here. if NAS completes, we got to watch it because so far it hasn't completed. NAS is on the verge of either kind of failing this level right now, or actually giving us a genuine. I'm watching 8-9 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a genuine breakdown of trend. Let's see. We're not. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. So now you can't trade. The reversal trade. Now you're really looking for a continuation trade setup. And the thing is, sometimes it can take a really, the trend is just simply straight down. You just don't get an opportunity. So now, obviously, what you're looking for is the dip trade, the arrow trade, right? The arrow trade would be the highest, but what may occur before the arrow trade is a reference point trade. And regardless of what you want to do, what I like to do, whether it's a reference point trade or a dip trade, I'm doing it on a buy sell basis. So I'm looking for in this case would be a green red combo to come in on the execution part of it. Okay, is that clear to everybody? So that's kind of how it's running. But so far, we don't have any reference points. We just have the arrow point. I mean, so Boris, to answer your question, if you wanted to trade this for like big money, right? You would just be short NAS at whatever what is the live value here is 31, right? 31. Your stop is actually like 90. Let's say 90. It doesn't matter. 91, 60-point stop. Just it's got to be close. Which means that you're really looking for, so it's a 60-point stop, right? 31, 91, 60-point stop, which means that you're looking for the 1300 break. You're going to be short this thing for a 1300 break. That's the big trade. You do like a couple of those during the day, you can pick up some serious pippages, right? But you obviously, you're looking at a 60-point loss if the thing reverses on you. So, so that's the cool part. That's the fun part of trading this. So you can trade this on very, very tight risk. You can trade it on large risk. You can trade it on a whole bunch of different ways. All right, guys. Hope this was all clear. Enjoy the indicator. We'll clean it up. We'll tighten it up. All the other stuff is coming. But now at least visually, you have the full structure of how I'm trading, and the good thing is it's very extendable. You can take this and just put it on 1-hour charts, 4-hour charts. Look for ideas, both on a kind of a short-term basis and a longer-term basis, and make them happen. Let those things ride. Okay. Yeah, I know. All the names are like placeholder names. I mean, they're not like marketing names. They're not really clear names. They just they're just basically stuff that I'm just thinking about. Eventually, we're gonna have to name them something intelligent that describes the actual functionality of the setup. But I'm not there yet. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it all work. But you're right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Much better day today, right? Like, I mean, we hit all the trades, right? So there you go. I had the right indicator and I had all the stuff working for us. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Careful today because we got the FOMC. So just don't get crazy on the trades today. It's FOMC day. It's going to be very, very volatile. And you may want to just simply not trade until he talks, because then you're going to get lots of volatility. And it'll be interesting to see. One of the interesting things I'm going to see is, can we trade this on a post-news basis on our structure and see how well that works there too. All right. I'll obviously review that with you tomorrow when I see you guys. Okay. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you guys later.